antiques and no more chromatic harmonica. In order to qualify as an antique, a harmonica must be having his historical value or artistic value or functional value, or at least be very welcome and popular for a long period of time. But it just happened that the trend is over and then the factory is no longer producing that, and then leaving this particular model or particular harmonica be regarded as an antique. So the very first one is, when we are chromatic harmonica player, the 270 is something indispensable. The very first one that I make it as an antique for my collection is all about the yellow highlighted things. It's merely because of the box. If not for the box, it does not qualify as an antique for me. And then for the 270, normally, the chromatic harmonica can be 10 hole, 12 hole, 14 hole, or 16 hole. In the very, very ancient time, it is called Chromatica with the K, or later on with a Chromatica with the C, and later on as a Super Chromatica 2, or lately become the 270. All these names are, interchangeably, and then many other brands are following the same and similar logic. So for the boxes that I collect, they are actually having Chromatica, inside. And then if you see this model, it is the Chromatica 2 or Chromatica with the K. And then I also have another one, Chromatica 1. So all these models are no longer produced. They are, they're living in my drawer as something that I will, every now and then, but they are still very functional. So the second one is talking about chromatic harmonica, the slide. For the slide, I have a very particular model where, the slide, the spring is on the outside, on the external, which is not the same as, the normal harmonica that we are seeing. The more, interesting thing for this is about the labeling on the harmonica. You see, there is a index finger location, and then there is a thumb location. So that if you are a novice starting to play harmonica, this would help you to hold the harmonica in a proper position. But one more important thing for this is that you see the whole number is on the downside, on the below, but not on the upper. This is actually the right positioning of the printing of the number. A chromatic harmonica player will not look into the upper side. He will look into the lower side of the harmonica if he really wants to locate the hole. This is very important. Okay, and then the third one is talking about a great innovation. This is by the late master, Mr. Cheng-Pao, and then he has his harmonica called CBH either 2012 or 2016, having a patent in 1972. But due to certain patent, the ownership, the issue, Honda only produced for a couple of years and stopped thereafter, making this model an antique forever. I have a couple of these. So these are my collection, the wonderful patent. And then these are the outlook. And then this is the bigger one. This is the shorter one. And then you see, the slide is not on the upper side. It's not closer to the mouthpiece, but closer to the other side. The story from this model is very interesting. Cheng-Pao got his very first chromatic harmonica when he was still a teen. He started to learn by himself, but he made it the wrong way. So that's why he put the slide onto his left hand. When he become a master, he want to make his own harmonica, he cannot change. So the CBH is having the slide, the button on the lower side. The US patent, this is the patent document, that describing the inner construction. This is the wheel CBH12 silver that I got the chance to take a photo in 1999 when we invited, Master Cheng-Pao and Master Larry Ella to Hong Kong to host a concert. And then very memorable moment with Cheng-Pao. The next one is talking about the slide alignment. Normally, for the 12 hole, they are strict alignment. Although some model may be on the cross, 14 are 50-50, and then 16 are normally crossed nowadays. But in the olden days, even the 16 is strict alignment, so that the slide goes a shorter distance, than the normal model. I got a chance to know of this, older model in 1998 when I traveled in France. I got hold of another master who showed me an old model used by the master French Chanel. And then, oh, how come you have a 16 in the strict? So I started to search around. So finally, I got hold of some of the older model of this 16, which is strict alignment. And then this is a wooden comb as well. All right. So another one of my antique collection is the Renaissance. This was done by Douglas Tate together with Bobby, I can't remember his name, but it is a Douglas Tate invention. It's totally without screws, and the direction of the slide movement was reversed, but without the bounding back like the CBH does. And then after the passing of Tate, Sado took over the production, but after a while, say a year or two, its production is stopped forever. So this is the Renaissance, very elegant with the wooden box, and then the imprinting. By Renaissance is number 5. Altogether, there are less than 100 in the world. So I got this years ago, and then with the imprint number 5, a very old model. I mean, early model of the Renaissance production. So this is the inner construction. You see, totally there is no screw. And then this is the top wheel of the Renaissance, showing the holes. When you press the button, the slide just moves the other way around. Instead of moving around from the upper to the lower, it is moving from the left to the right. Very innovative. For the chromatic harmonica, do we really need some slide? One slide or 2 slides? I got a model which is 12 hole. Then there's 2, the slide on the right-hand side, and then they are used for, apart from the doing melody with the normal slide, there are certain, the special tuning of the wrist, so that if you press the alternative slide, you will be producing different arpeggio and chords combination, which is richer than the normal chromatic harmonica alignment. So you see, this is how this second slide can provide with additional, tunes on the chromatic harmonica. Another question is, for slide, do we really need a slide for the chromatic harmonica? There is a model, I think, the very few people know, it's called Deluxe. The Deluxe is coming with, a number of variations. The Deluxe one is basically the 4-hole Little Lady alike. The Deluxe 4 is coming with 2 slides on the right-hand side, and then producing very interesting, the combination of tones. And then onto, right. Okay, the Deluxe 2 is the more popular one in the olden days before it stopped. So I got 3. The very similar look to this 270, but the left-hand side and the right-hand side are symmetric, despite there is a hidden slide. And then there are additional bars on the bottom side in order for the locking. So on the upper side, on the lower side, and then the full lock. And then this is the dismantling, and then the lower side, further dismantling. And then this is the fully dismantled, the Deluxe 2. Back to the chromatic model in Asia. Very interesting. In the older model of Asia, chromatic does not have any style. They are just like, the tremolo harmonica, but with the upper line of the holes and the lower lines of the notes. Here are the chromatic harmonica without slide. You can see here is a wider division. There is no. There's wider. There's no. The wider one is to divide the A and B, which are both draw notes. And then you can see the upper one is C sharp, the lower side is C. And then China does have the similar model. Japan, Yamaha. And they're very interesting. The Tombo company is still producing this type of slide-less chromatic harmonica, namely the Tombo violin, the model, and the other one. But do we have any future for this, the slide-less chromatica? Yes. The Sato company lately, last year in 2021, they produced one special model, which is the slide-less, chromatic harmonica with the two lines of holes, aligned in the upper side and the lower side, similar to the older model that the Asia used to have. Okay. I have shown you, some 8 models. The yellow ones are basically all around, the slide and the spring. The gray one are really of artistic, the paper box, the Renaissance and the Deluxe. A model, no matter how welcome it is, one day it will become an antique. This is the fate. Into the future, see whether I have the chance to share with you all my other collections, for the super high ends, silver concerto applications, masterclass applications, the Super 64 application, and the customized model, memorable brands, and also other number brands. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Rocky.
Very much.
Very